Hello, hello. Today we are doing a semi realistic fan art from Arcane. Again, this happened because I watched too many cool edits of a character. It is inevitable at this point, and I'm sure Thanos would agree. So, this is the snap from the show I am drawing. I kept the pose and the color palette as it is for the most part, but the style is completely different, or that was what I was aiming for at least. Arkin has this edgy art style which is so individual to its own, and most of their characters follow the Asaro head for structure and shading. It just enhances the sharpness of the overall artwork and it just looks so good. I tried to soften those edges somewhat, but the planes of the head are the planes of the head, so it's not that different, especially the shading part. Now, every drawing is a learning experience, and today I learned that I need to cope with the ugly stage. And I'm not good with coping with the ugly stage. My coping mechanisms are shit. Okay, we all know about the ugly stage. There's color everywhere, and you are blending it, but it looks like poop. And my drawing looked like poop for so long. Rendering Ekko, as you can see, was the hardest part for me, and this piece took like 14 hours in total, and I'm still not satisfied with Ekko. I mean, it's the side profile. It always gets me. I know it is. I am self aware, okay? My side profile game is so weak, it's embarrassing. You probably cannot tell from this speed paint, but I have changed and modified Echo's face over 30 times at least to make it look somewhat decent, but the ugly stage was killing me inside. It was also the lighting choice. Oh my god, they are at a party and there's vivid blue and pink lights, and apparently rendering all that to make sense on skin is so difficult. I didn't know. I have never actually rendered skin like that. I just always paint the skin as it is and then use the airbrush tool for soft light or hard light. But this time I followed the color palette as it is for the most part, and when I color picked from my reference, it just showed me vivid violets and muted violets and then pink for the skin. As you can see, I would have never used this shade of pink for the skin, but here I am doing it and then making myself absolutely confused as to what to do after this because it was not looking good, okay? At least not in my style, and that is also something I should learn about. I feel like when I sketched this out, it looked so good. Like the proportions were good and all, but when I started to render it, the colors kind of mixed and mashed and then became something so muddy because honestly, I did not know what I was doing, especially for the skin tone, and that's why the proportions started to seem off. When you look at something and you just know something's not right, that was what I was feeling. And so I left powder at that and started doing Echo again. And this time I took the small step. I just zoomed in on Echo's ears and I rendered it from start to finish just to see what type of colors I should be using, what type of shading I should be going for. And only after that I did the whole face, but then again I kept changing the whole face again and again because he was just looking very mad. He was looking angry and I did not want that. However, rendering the hair was actually less difficult than it looked. I was kind of scared because my skin was not skinning. Wait, I shouldn't say that. My skin did not look good. Not my skin, Ego skin. My skin always looks fabulous. Anyway, the hair, it wasn't that difficult. I can probably teach you in 2 minutes how to do it, and really, it just comes down to the lighting and shading. Which, okay, it always comes down to the lighting and shading, but it's not that difficult, is what I'm trying to say, okay? And again, Powder's hair was a piece of cake. I mean, I draw this type of hair all day, every day, so this wasn't that much of a big deal, and the colors popped out so good. I was actually pretty happy with that, and I drew clothes that actually looked good. Guess who's improving? Me. I'm improving. That's right, new year, new me. Now, one might argue that the clothes do not look that bad because really, how much is it even there? You can barely see it. It's not even up to the shoulders. It's cut at the neckline, but hey, that's good enough for me that the collar looks good. I'm happy with that. Be happy with that. And anyway, I know that there are a lot of jumps and cuts in the recording because I had forgotten about recording the entire thing as I was drawing it. So maybe I will include the speed paint that you can download in the painting app, which is Ibis Paint. That's what I use. And then you can see how many times I just had to keep changing Ekko's face. I used everything. I used the liquify tool and the mesh thing. Oh my god, what is that even called? Mesh formation. Yes, mesh formation. Yeah, that's what it's called. I hope that's what it's called because I am not sure. But anyways, 30 times I've changed it, and still look at my man. He's not happy. I mean, he is happy, but he looks, you know, not that happy. And in the reference he looks that happy, and I am never going to stop lamenting about the fact that Ekko doesn't look happy. Maybe after a year or two, when I look back at this piece, I would still complain about how I just could not make Ekko look happy. Anyways, we are reaching the end of this recording, so I am going to include the full recording of the speed paint, and I hope you enjoyed it. Bye.